is being tariffed. Forged steel, other of free cutting steel, other of rectangular cross section, other bars and rods, U, I, or H sections. So basically like I beams and H beams, L or T sections, wire, ingots and other primary forms again, bars and rods, hot rolled, other bars and rods, angles, wires. Is it basically just everything, or is it not everything? Bars and rods, angles, hollow drill bars and rods, other wire, casing, tubing, drill pipe, of a kind used in drilling for oil or gas. Line pipe, of a kind used for oil or gas pipelines. Right, so a whole bunch of steel products is the retaliatory tariff, which again, as I said earlier, Canada both imports and exports steel products to the US, although now I'm guessing there'll be less of both. I need to ramp up here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then aluminium products. This is again tariffs by Canada against the US. Aluminium not alloyed, aluminium alloys, hollow profiles, aluminium alloys other, rectangular including square, doors, windows and their frames, and thresholds for doors. God, I'm trying to like build and read at the same time. Other parts, other for use in Canadian manufacturers, aluminium reservoirs, tanks, vats, and other similar containers. Collapsible tubular containers, aerosol containers, embossed aluminium cans for use in the packaging of beverages. Oh, snap. So if you buy aluminium canned beverages, they used to be made in the US. Aluminium containers for compressed or liquefied gas, table, kitchen, or other household articles, sanitary ware, nails, tacks, staples, screws, bolts, nuts, screw hooks, rivets, etc. Cloth, grill, netting, and fencing of aluminium wire. Cups for this is very specific. Cups for use in the manufacture of candles. Fish eggs, incubators, and parts thereof. For climbing or mountaineering. Identification bands for migratory birds. What? Pigeon countermark leg bands. Okay, so basically for use in medical uses, I think is, I mean there's a whole list of things, and then other parts of aluminium. So basically Canada is putting return tariffs on steel and aluminium from the US. Alright, which is pretty basic. And then there are other products in addition to that. We're talking about yogurt, coffee, prepared meals. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Prepared meals. Specially defined mixtures, other than in cans or glass jars, spent foul, Other than what does that mean? Chicken stock? Is that what that means? I don't know why you would have mixtures made from birds in cans other than in cans or jars. It's chicken stock, right? Is that what that means? Bovine animals, prepared meals, bovine animals others, so basically a livestock and poultry. Maple sugar and maple syrup. Hey Q, I think there is maple syrup made in the US, right? So now there's a tariff on maple syrup made in the US. Which might be a good time to start getting into maple syrup production. Let's see, I want to ramp up a little bit. Slide across here. In fact, let me just do this part. So maple syrup and maple sugar, licorice, candy, toffee, other sugar confectionery, other chocolate. So yogurt, coffee, poultry and meat, chocolate, confectionery, pizza and quiche, cucumbers and gherkins, strawberry jam, orange juice not frozen, soy sauce, tomato ketchup and other tomato sauces, mayonnaise and salad dressing, mixed condiments and mixed seasonings, other sauces, soups and broths and preparations therefore, waters. There's a tariff on water, including mineral waters and aerated waters. Whiskies again, manicure or pedicure preparations again, same as the European ones. Pre-shave, shaving or aftershave preparations. So specific. Preparation for perfuming or deodorizing rooms. I feel like this is stuff that the Canadians know they can substitute. Like they can find somewhere else or make themselves without relying on US producers. Glues and head adhesives, candles, tapers and the like. Organic surface active products and preparations for the washing the skin. So basically, it's again cosmetics. Insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, chemicals. Is there a Canadian chemical industry? Just wondering, I guess it doesn't really matter unless you're specifically employed in these things. Sacks and bags, tableware and kitchenware, other household articles and hygienic or toilet articles of plastics. Okay. Like toothbrushes. It's a tariff on toothbrushes. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we move on to plywood, paper and paperboard, toilet paper, handkerchiefs, cleansing of facial tissues and towels, I suppose I should ramp up here. Slide across, okay. Tablecloths, And then textile products, printed or illustrated postcards. Printed cards bearing personal greetings, messages, or announcements, whether or not illustrated, with or without envelopes or trimmings. Okay, that's cool. So if you want to buy like Christmas cards, you can now buy them Canadian made instead of American made. I like that. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe it's time to get into the Christmas card industry. Q. Okay, so like fuel for non-portable stoves and ranges. I guess we're talking about gas, natural gas. Cast iron grills. What on earth? Cooking chambers, top surface panels. It's very specific. It's parts for stove parts. Other parts, combined refrigerator freezers, fitted with separate external doors. Absorption type, combination gas and electric power, designed for permanent installation in recreational vehicles and for use in the manufacture of such vehicles. Specifically, combined fridge freezers for camper vans is basically what that means. Instantaneous storage water heaters, non-electric. Other. That is... Alright, so hot water cylinders. Mowers for lawn mowers. Machines each of a dry linen capacity. So what? Washing machines? Household type, not including machines that which both wash and dry. Washing machines. Inflatable boats. Sailboats, motorboats. What interests me is the stuff that, like, or the comparison with the European ones, like which ones are common with the European ones and which ones are not. So things like motorboats is common with the European tariffs, but then there's also very specific things like combined fridge freezers for camper vans. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Seats with wooden frames for domestic purposes, mattresses, sleeping bags, pillows, playing cards, ballpoint pens, and felt tip pens and markers. The list from Canada seems very, very, very specific. I mean, Q said earlier that some of this might be targeting specific businesses that support Trump. I'm guessing the motorboats one is probably... I'm also thinking some of this also protects Canadian manufacturers. I'm not sure if any of that is really game-changing to anything. Alright, let's move on to China. Oh man. Alright, so this branch is joined up there. So the American tariffs against China, we're talking about these lists is so tedious. Oh, this here, I should narrow this to 5 blocks here, right? We need to figure out how to do this junction. We still don't know how to do this junction. So if we narrow it to 5, wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, hey, that's not good. 1, 2, 3, this is only 6. Wait a minute, where did I make the mistake? This is not 7 blocks wide. Okay, that's 7 blocks wide. Okay, I made a mistake here. This should be 1 block wider, which should be fine. Alright, so these are the tariffs that Trump put against China. So again, if Europe or Canada manufactures these things, they can like export to the US and beat the Chinese products. Aircraft tires, nuclear reactors, boat motors. Oh, that's interesting. Boat motors. So the US put tariffs against Chinese boat motors, and then Europe and Canada put tariffs against American motorboats. So this basically kills the motorboat industry both ways, right? Wait, what? So if you are a motorboat manufacturer in the US, first of all, the motors coming in cost more. And now if you want to sell to Europe or Canada, that also costs more. So it's like a double tax to kill the American motorboat industry, is what that is. Unless there isn't a American motorboat industry, in which case it doesn't actually matter. Aircraft engines and engine parts, which again I'm not sure about this. Like, do the Americans make their own aircraft parts, or do they actually import them from China? Because then wouldn't that wreck Boeing? And like companies like Lockheed Martin, do they build their own stuff, or do they like build in China and import from China? I'm not sure. Air and gas compressors. Hold on. Air and gas compressors, which are used in various goods like refrigerators. So again, they're taxing the fridge parts coming in from China, and then Canada taxes the completed fridges coming out of the US. So that screws American fridge makers both ways. Again, like it's the way these tariffs interact are so interesting, because it screws them both ways now. I mean, it screws the Americans both ways. Okay, what is this? Let me just find out where I'm going on this other side here. Alright, so the station is back there. I guess I should go up to there and then diagonal this way. Alright, then we have industrial heating equipment, scales mostly for weighing large industrial equipment, cranes and other lifting equipment, bulldozers, backhoes, tampers, boring machines, and other large construction vehicles. Oil and gas drilling platforms. Apparently you can buy an entire oil platform from China. Plows, mowers, combine harvester threshers, and other large agricultural vehicles. Why am I so slow? And other large agricultural vehicles, dairy milkers, chicken incubators, and livestock equipment. So all this stuff, this is like farming equipment.